Starting soon, more like starting now. Oh shit. Wait, actually it's starting soon. I left my controller downstairs. Oh, you going? Bye-bye. You got pound cake coming down to you. Pound cake! My cats are causing problems. Okay. There we go. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Huh. We're running into more technical difficulties. There we go. Okay. Fixed it. Prisoner release. Hey, Ike. I heard you leaving going to Begnion, eh? Hello, Rolf. I was hoping to see you.
Can we give Oscar a PRF bow called Rolf? Good. I forgot forge mechanics in poor, but if we could give it mount it would be cinema. Also you heavily force deploy from ist.
Sorry. For some reason the audio glitched and I heard an echo. I have to read it. Can we give Oscar a PRF bow called Rolf Good? Give it minus might. And then, yeah, we do have Ileana from yesterday, yeah. So I can make Oscar a bow. He can't use bows until promotion, though. He's lance locked right now. Do you want me to give him a minus might lance so he can, like, actually use it? Or just make a bow for him that he can't use? Like, wait, are you paying me to waste my forge so he can't use it until he promotes? Oh god, people are gonna waste my forges. I'm gonna say, at the very least, if you're making a PRF weapon, the unit has to be able to use it. So I can make him a minus might lance. Is that good enough? Let me edit the description I didn't think people would try to make a weapon you literally can't use. Forge must be usable if it's declared a PRF. AKA no Sword PRF for Void. Master Seal Oscar. I don't even have a Master Seal yet. But, like, we are eventually giving him bows, but at the moment it's lances. Hello, Rolf. I was hoping I'd see you. I wanted to thank you for everything you've done. I'll be glad to have the chance before I leave. Well, aren't you the dutiful one? Hey, that reminds me. You were born here in Gallia, right? I knew there was something odd about you. You're awfully friendly for a Bjork, you know. Oh, you might not know what, but a Bjork is what... I know what it means. It's what you call us humans, right? Oh, knew that, did you? Well, let me tell you something else. Here we go. Get ready for the cracker line. Get ready for the cracker is a slur line. When we use the word human, we mean it much in the same way you Bjork do when you call us a subhuman. That's right. If you say cracker, you'll get banned from Twitch for hate speech. The screenshot that launched 1,000 memes. Imagine writing that. It's an insult to be called human. Yeah, it's on the same level to be called human as it is to be called subhuman. I'm glad you told me. I never would have guessed. Me neither, Ike. Me fucking neither. I should warn you. If you run across any lagoos who call you that, be careful. They're no friend of yours. Got it. Thanks. I won't forget. Meanwhile, Lath has called us human like 17 times. But I've digressed long enough. Let me explain why I'm here. Huh? Princess Valencia, if I may have a moment of your time. Yes, of course. The king asked that I give you this. Please accept it as a gift. What, may I ask? Within that leather pouch is 20,000 gold pieces. Bjork currency, of course. Oh, I truly appreciate this generous offer, but a gift of this magnitude is not something I can accept. King Canicus has already done much more than necessary already. The king is ashamed that he cannot, at this time, provide any personal support. Please, will you accept this apology and acknowledge his desire to aid you? But, no? Well, let's try this. Yes? You accept the king's gift, then, as payment for conducting you safely to Gallia, you hand it over to Ike. Come on, Ranulph. You can't expect her to accept this, and it's an outrageous feat, no matter how you look at it. 20,000 gold for the life of a princess? Perfectly reasonable. In fact, it almost borders on insulting. Consider how you have suffered, the lives you have lost. 10, no 100 times this amount would not be unreasonable. I have reconsidered. I will accept the king's kindness. In turn, I will present it to my lord Ike. You will accept it, will you not? I will, thank you. No, my lord Ike, it is I who must thank you. Well, now that's settled. Let's move on. Unfortunately, we do not have any ships here in Gallia. But if you were to find a ship that will take you to Begnion, you must return to occupied Crimea. There's just no other way, and we'll just have to risk it. No matter how cautiously you proceed, you're certain to run into Dane forces. Keep that in mind. I understand. It's too bad we're short on soldiers. Still, there's not much we can do about that now. However, I will review our supplies carefully before we depart. In forces. Keep that in mind. I understand. It's too bad we're short on soldiers. Still, there's not much we can do about that now. However, I will review our supplies carefully before we depart. In regard to your personnel problems, the king has decided to lend you what aid he can. Lath, Mordecai? I will join you. Mordecai and Lath, both of you? Are you sure? None of the others could stand the idea of traveling with humans. I myself tremble with loathing at the thought of going to Begnion, but when the king gives an order, obedience is the only option. That may be, but having witnessed the combat prowess of Gallians for myself, I know how fortunate we are. We will not fail you. I have no intention of becoming friends. Do not forget that, and stay out of my way. You must forgive Lath. her tongue cuts as deep as her claws do. I will return once I've reported to the king. While I'm gone, please finish your preparations for departure. Very well. How big is that leather sack if it holds $20,000? We got the report. I'm gonna skip the reports. They're not really necessary. Alright, first things first. I'm required to make Oscar his forge. Would you like it iron or slim? For iron, if we go minus might, it goes down to 2. For slim, if we go minus might, we can bring it down to 1. Do we say 1 might on the slim lance? I think that's probably what we want. Called Rolf Good. Slim is funnier, but iron if you actually want to use it. Wouldn't iron just be like, yeah, it's more expensive, right? 1186 versus... Oh no, iron is cheaper and better. Oh my god. I think this is an easy enough game. We just go for the funnier one. And it's called Rolf Good. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Thank you for the donation. I'm already regretting opening up that incentive. And of course it's green because Rolf is green. And it's Oscar's PRF. Alright. Again, I'm saving the boosters for when chat forces me to use units or whatever. You there, Bjork. What do you think you're doing? I was trying to get back to my room, but I lost my way. Can you tell me which way I need to go? This way, follow me. Hey, not so close. Walk behind me. What? Pardon me. The king has ordered us to treat Bjork with kindness, but it will take some time. It's difficult to fight that instinct. Perhaps some memory of the slavery our forefathers suffered at Bjork heads flows in our blood. I understand. I'll keep my distance. Very well, let's go. Alright. And so we put this guy right here, and this dealy bobber goes there, and we're finished. Packing, huh? Want some help? Do I want some? You're a hoot, handsome. I'm already done. You're more skillful at this than I would have imagined. Or is it that Miss is woefully inept? Aw, the begging on Pegasus Knights were always moving us around, so I learned to pack quickly. They're used to train us on it all the time. Go here, pack this, fun stuff. Is that so? I can see that you have a strong sense of duty. Quitting the begging on Pegasus Knights to join us must seem... What are you saying? I'm a burden now? No, I'm very grateful you're here. As I told you before, we're short on personnel. Oh, good then. And I'm happy to be here. Say, Ike, you don't worry about me quitting the Begnion service. My decision wasn't based solely on my desire to repay you. You had other reasons? Yeah, I'm also searching for my missing brother. He may be adult and a scoundrel, but he's all the family I have in this world. Remember when you found me? When we were fighting the pirates? Well, I was trying to track him down. But every time I go looking for him, I end up in some dangerous situation with ugly boat monkeys trying to kill me. Huh. So that's why you decided to join us, is it? I can understand that. So, are you sorry you asked? Not at all. The important thing is finding your brother as quickly as possible, right? That's the plan! You seem... depressed? Look at who I'm trapped with. Of course I'm depressed. And keep your worthless observations for yourself. All of you are so slow. I can't believe you're still not ready. Sorry about that. If we were like you and didn't need to carry anything, it'd be easier, but we have weapons and things to get ready. Weapons of steel are a human weakness. Without them, you cannot fight properly. But Laith, you're carrying a dagger, aren't you? In the scabbard on your leg? This is not for fighting. Then what's it for? I use it to remove the small bones from meat. It can also cut fruit into bite-sized pieces. It's proven quite useful. What? If you got something to say, spit it out. You despise Bjork, but you don't mind Bjork-crafted tools? If something's good, it's good. Denying its obvious worth is out of petty spite is foolish. It's not that I do not despise everything Bjork. If every Bjork could get along with us as well as you do, I'm certain... Leith? This is a ridiculous conversation. I'm leaving now. You could have raised the weight to make it even worse. Oh my goodness. Alright, here's the supports we have available. Oh right, I have to buy Rolf a bow too. Because we broke the Rolf's bow during our fucking abuse. Alright, Convoy, give the arm scroll. I guess while we're here, we did get Leith and Mordecai. So we do have a couple of more unit reviews to knock out. I'll start with Leith. So Leith and Mordecai are the first two Lagoos that you get, and in this game, Lagoos operate on a 20-tick gauge. When they hit 20, they will automatically transform into their beast form or their animal form. And when they hit 0, they will automatically transform into the human form. And this happens on both player and enemy phase, just whenever you hit the number. So it's a little bit different from how it works in Radiant Dawn if you've only played that game for some reason. Here it just happens automatically as soon as you hit the number. Every turn, the gauge goes up by 4 if they're in human form, and down by 2 if they're in animal form. And anytime they participate in combat, in animal form they lose 1, and in human form they gain 2. So you gain gauge faster than you lose it, but they will always lose or gain it, based on either doing combat or just like existing. As such, about half of the time, I'd say probably close to a third of the time, Lagoos are not, because you lose it at half the pace you gain it at. I would say about a third of the time, Lagoos are not actually functional, because in human form, they can't do combat. But in beast form, they get minor stat bonuses, and they're able to do combat with their weapons, which are just 1-range weapons. Claw's an 8 might, 90 hit weapon. That's like what, steel sword level, right? Yeah, it's steel sword, but more accurate, basically. So it's like a decent sword equivalent. And then Mordecai has the claw that's like a little bit stronger, right? Leith is supposed to be the speedier of the two because she's a cat. Cats are speedy, whereas tigers are supposed to be close to armor knights, like slow and strong. But both of them really function, you know, I see some people compare them to like Leith as a Myrmidon and Mordecai's an armor knight or that sort of thing. They really both just function like cavalry, because when they're transformed, they have 9 movement, which is the equivalent to a paladin. Titania also has 9 move, right? So this is advantageous for Leith because on turn 1, she transforms. Turn 1, she gains 4 gauge. So she starts every map transformed. And as such, for the first like 4 turns, she basically acts like Jagan number 2. She's got similar stats to Titania, especially when you factor in the bonuses she gets upon transforming. And she's got 9 move, but she's 1 range locked. So it's like she's a sword paladin, I guess you can think of it. And that's like pretty all right. As you go later into the game, Leith is going to fall off. Both because, you know, you later get a ton of paladins who just are paladins for 100% of the time instead of like 60% of the time like Leith is. But also because Leith gains experience like a promoted unit, but unlike Titania, her combat is not so much better than everyone around her. It is gonna be better than everyone around her, but not so much better. So she just sort of like becomes eh. She also doesn't have, like... She doesn't have terrible growths, but I don't think her growths are, like, stand out. Actually, her growths are pretty good. Looking at them now, 130% HP, 50% strength, 5% magic, 65% skill, 70% speed, 50% luck, 40% defense, 25 res. Yeah, those are good growths, actually. So I guess, like, the main thing is just having to deal with gauge stuff becomes more of a hassle the later you go, because while you can think of Layth as, like, kind of a paladin, no Canto. That's a good point, no Canto, so it's not quite paladin, but 9 move, 1 range attacker is, like, it's still really good, and her stats are good for this point in the game. It's just, she can't use stronger weapons, like the claw, the sort of steel sword equivalent. It's like a steel sword forged for extra hit, and eventually your paladins will be using, like, javelins, hand axes, silver weapons, whatnot. Being locked at 1 range is bad for the same reasons it is for Ike and Mia. So even at their peak, like, once we hit the mid-game and it's just 1-2 range hell, Layth is gonna be on the struggle bus. But I would say, especially early on when you don't have, like, a full squad trained up, she's a very good sort of crutch character, as you think about it. I just want to read off her bonuses, because it says she has 12 strength here, but she gets 6 strength on transformation, so it's closer to an 18 strength, 15 speed, 14 defense unit. She also gets 3 res and 4 skill. Like, her stats are a lot better than they currently appear. I'll highlight them when she's transformed, to sort of, like, show the difference, but that is, like, she really does just function like a pre-promoted, paladin who just doesn't have Canto and doesn't have 2 range. And that's, like, she's got better stats than Titania. She's just only able to use them about 2/3 of the time. But transforming early, I think, is definitely better than transforming late, because the most important portions of every map are the beginning of the map. And that's pretty good. Like, that's pretty good for her. Mordecai, her companion, is in the opposite boat. His gauge starts out empty, so he will be non-able to do combat during the early portions of the map. But as the map goes longer, he'll eventually transform, and he also has very fucking good stats for the join time. Accounting for bonuses, he'll have 22 strength and 11 speed, and 16 defense, 7 res, 12 skill. So his transform stats are, I would argue, worse than Layth's, because he can sometimes struggle to double things. 11 speed is in that sort of questionable area, but if he doubles stuff, he deletes it, and he's very strong and very bulky. And much like her, he has 9 move when transformed, so rather than an armor knight, it's like a super boosted up armor knight. What if you had 17 celerities, right? His growths are also quite good, much like hers. 150% HP growth, 65% strength growth, 0% magic, 55% skill, 50% speed, 40% luck, 40% defense, 20% resistance. But he faces the same problem as Layth in that promoted experience gain and eventually sort of falls off, both because of the stats and, more importantly, stuck on a weapon type. Again, sort of a forged steel sword situation. Once everyone else is wielding forged axes and silvers and stuff, it's like, well, why would you bother with the guy who's stuck on steel swords? He does have a piece of utility, though, that lets him contribute either transformed or untransformed, and that is Smite. Smite allows him to shove 2 tiles, and you'll notice he has 33 weight. When transformed, he has 48 weight. Mordecai is one of the few units who's actually capable of shoving cavalry, and he can smite them, so he can shove them 2 tiles. You see Titania's only 21 weight. Marcia over here is 22 weight. Once we get Jill, I believe Mordecai can smite Jill after a statue frag. He might need 2 statue frags. So while untransformed, he can shove people 2 tiles, and that's super helpful. I see someone in chat saying it's only good for LTC. I want to push back against that. Obviously, movement skills are good in LTC if all you care about is the low turn counts. But one, this is a game where your turn count does actually matter for the reward of bonus experience. And 2, even if you don't care about turn counts, just being able to extend a unit's movement range to allow them greater flexibility is such a huge boon. Titania can only reach a foe that's 9 tiles away from her. If you are able to shove her 2 more, she gets an extended movement of functionally 11. That can help to rescue, like, oh no, Soren got crit, and now he's at 1 HP, we need to rescue drop him out. Or very early on, in a couple of maps, we have to recruit Astrid, and Smite is basically essential for that, shoving Ike to get to Astrid before she dies as a green unit on enemy phase. There are just so many situations where getting a little bit of extra movement will help you even in casual play like what we're doing right now. I think one of the biggest sort of, and it's honestly a little bit frustrating, the biggest misconception I see is that if something is good in LTC, it can't possibly be good in casual play as well. Which, funny enough, that doesn't apply to, like, when something hyper-specific, like Ross water walking, is good in LTC, everyone's like, OMG, it's the best thing for casual play now, too. But something generic, like a unit having more movement, or a unit having good bases, being good in LTC, then the narrative comes up of like, well, I don't LTC, so it actually doesn't matter, so I'm gonna use someone with 3 move and terrible bases. Whereas, like, no, these are things that add to your flexibility, that give you extra options, and even if you are taking the map slow ball like we've been doing, just having that extra movement, having those extra options, removing danger that's farther away from you is always a good thing. Titania's good in LTC, therefore she's ass. I've seen, I think because Path of Radiance just got, like, re-released, I've seen such an uptick in, like, Titania bad posting. You know, be careful using Titania, she'll steal your experience. Meanwhile, the humble level 5 to 82 EXP Titania. But look, my team is still fine. Like, my team still has decent levels, despite the fact that we have been using Titania a bunch. She will not steal your experience. But yeah, Mordecai, basically, on the early turns, you have him smite people to help with the positioning, and then when he transforms, he becomes basically a, Cavalier, Swordlock Cavalier, and, he can still smite while transformed. Like, being able to smite mounted units is just such a boon. I think Mordecai's pretty slept on because his utility, it sounds a lot worse than it is. Like, oh, pushing someone 2 tiles? That doesn't seem like a very big deal. But in the game that gives you like 14 deployment slots, let's be so fucking for real. You're not gonna have 14 combat gods available every chapter. Mordecai will be more helpful than your fucking under-leveled Makalov will be most of the time. Alright. I made a cut so we can, put that in a compilation. The unit review compilation. After his father's death, places the mantle of leadership on his young shoulders. Ike agrees to continue as Alincia's escort. The company heads now for the Begnion Empire, the oldest and largest nation on the continent of Tellius. As Crimea is a former fiefdom of the Begnion, the princess turns to them for succor, much as a scared child returns to a parent. Many in Tellius believe that without Begnion's might and influence, Crimea's reconstruction will be nigh impossible. However, Begnion and Gallia have no diplomatic ties, and are further separated by an impassable mountain range. So, the company is forced to return to Crimea, where they hope to locate a ship to carry them to Begnion. Accompanied by Ranulf, the warrior has volunteered to guide them. The company leaves Castle Gallia behind. With heavy hearts and wounded spirits, they begin the long march back to Crimea. Hey Ike, hold up a moment. You know, I was thinking, since this castle's on the way, we should probably stop by. Really? Why? Is there something special about this place? Why, yes, there is. This is Cantorus Castle. Danes seized it early on in the war. Now it serves as the camp for prisoners. And I've even heard of a number of Crimean retainers being held captive in the dungeon beneath the castle. What? Are you certain? Princess, I'm hurt. Of course my information's reliable. If we can rescue some of the Crimean soldiers, they might decide to join us. That would be quite a boon, would it not? Yes, it would. I think it's worth the risk. Questions now. How do you open these cells and free the prisoners? The cells are certain to be locked, so in order to open them, logic would dictate that the keys will be in the possession of the jailer. We've no choice but to steal them. If we're lucky, the guards will have keys as well. In either case, we must move with caution. We don't want to trade blows with the entire castle garrison. Which means we stay close to the walls and avoid being seen or heard, right? Alright then. Our first priority is to get our hands on the cell keys. Hey, you there! I have business with Sir Grail. Where is he? You're sorely lacking in social etiquette, aren't you? State your business. I will speak with Sir Grail and Sir Grail alone. Now take me to him. What you ask is impossible. Commander Grail is dead. Well, that's a problem. Just who are you, anyway? Call me Volk. Sir Grail hired me. I'm in intelligence. My father hired you? You were Sir Grail's son, correct? You'll do. Sir Grail hired me to investigate something. You pay my price, I'll give you my report. Deal? How much? 50,000. That's a bit steep, and worth every penny. I don't have that much. Give me some time. So you're willing to pay? My father hired you. He must have had good reason. Are you sure, Commander? We've no way of knowing if he's telling the truth. We'll know when we see the contents of that report. Till then, let's have him travel with us. So that's your plan, eh? Listen, you're getting the report when I get paid. I'm not waiting around till then. I keep my information for the time being. Call me when you got the gold. Stop into any tavern along your way. Tell the barkeep if you need a fireman. You'll see me within the hour. Hold up a moment. Intelligence. You said you're in intelligence, right? Is information the only thing you sell? Come out with it. What are you asking? Locks. Can you open locks? Sure. 50 gold per lock. You're going to have him open the cell doors? Is that wise? We've only just met him. There's no telling if we can trust him. What do you two think? Under the circumstances, I think trusting a man about whom we know nothing is dangerous. I am opposed to this. If we want to get those cells open, I think the risk is going to be inevitable. If we don't have to steal keys, we can reduce that risk and improve our chances of rescuing the prisoners. It's worth a shot. So Titania gives bad advice, therefore Jagan fell off. Volk, will you help us break into these cells? As long as I get paid, I've got no complaint. Titania, objections? I told you before, didn't I? You're the commander. If you decide on a course of action, I will but follow. They do. I'm off. Good luck and all that. Wait, what? You're not going to help us here? Much as I would like to, I have a job to do. I'll rejoin you when I'm finished. I see. Well, good luck with you till then. Yes, and to you as well. I followed a guide. Doing this stealth is annoying, but the BXP is tempting. It is. I think it's usually worth it, but it's less fun. And I think for the purposes of having a entertaining stream, I'm just gonna not stealth it. However, I am going to link to my stealth guide. FE9 stealth, Danny Doyle. So if anyone is interested in doing the stealth, why can you even refuse him? For the same reason you can refuse Raisin, because this game is evil. Alright, so Ileana is force deployed, so we have to deploy her. Obviously, I want Titania, Soren, Boyd, our super Rolf for some fucking reason. Mist, Riss, Mia? Maybe instead of Riss, we go Lath. Just go with one. Oh, we need Volk, right? We need Volk. Force deploy Ike.
Forge deploy Ike.
Forge deploy Ike. Alright, this is our squad. This, Oh, right! We have to unit review Volk, don't we? So, this is Volk. He is your first thief. And basically, he's the good thief. He's the good thief. So, Volk has okay combat stats and okay combat growths as well. 65% HP, 50% strength, 5% magic, 55% skill, 65% speed, 35% luck, 20% defense, 10% resistance. Decidedly okay. They are decidedly okay. Held back by the fact that his weapon type is knives. There are only 3 knives in the game. The knife, the stiletto, and I think it's like the dirk or something? They're all pretty bad. This one is 2 might, which means it is a stronger weapon than the Rolf Good. But knives are very bad. Not only that, but as a thief, he's stuck with pretty bad caps, because he'll be unpromoted for most of the game. He has a story promotion. And his story promotion is later than Ike's. His story promotion is when you get a bunch of gold from defeating the Naysala map, so chapter 19? Then he promotes to assassin. As an assassin, he's also got bad stats. Don't let anyone fucking trick you. His combat stats in assassin are awful. He gets access to lethality if you're willing to spend an occult scroll on him. And that's like a chance to instant kill, but it's bad. Like, don't do it. Yeah, combat, not very good, but that's not what he's here for, right? Like, he's here for stealing. He can steal unequipped items or weapons. People go crazy over this, because you can steal weapons, right? And so if a enemy has 2 weapons, you can steal their unequipped weapon. Let's just take a quick glance at all of the enemies on this map. Yo, we can steal this steel lance. Oh, wait, it's 13 weight. Aww. Healed me as 12 strength. Well, what else is there? Oh, there's no unequipped weapons on this map. That's gonna be the pattern. There's usually no unequipped weapons. However, if you have more speed than the enemy, which he's got 13 speed, this Armor Knight has, what, 10? So he has enough speed to steal. If you have more speed than the enemy, and more strength than the weapon weight, so I think you would need 14 strength to steal the Steel Lance. I might be wrong about that. It might be equal to Earthgratzer, but I think it's more. Then you can steal an unequipped weapon, and that's like some cool stuff. Like, there's some goodies you can get in the next chapter. I always like stealing the Laguz Slayer, and there'll be sometimes random enemies that'll have like a killer bow or something. It's nice to be able to steal stuff. Unfortunately, there's just not that many stealables. Unlike Thracia, where you can steal equipped weapons, there's just not that many options for Volk, but it's nice. The main reason you deploy him is there's maps with chests on them, and he can open chests. But even that, I think is overrated. It's crazy to say, but you get a lot of chest keys, and like 50% of the chests contain absolute garbage you don't care about. Like the Miracle Scroll, like fucking, I think there's a Counter Scroll. Like there's a ton of chests that just have like, thanks, I fucking hate it. This map right here, okay, if I remember correctly, it's like a steel sword, an iron axe. It's like all generic fucking steel and iron weapons, and then like a statue frag, and I think this is an effective weapon? No, this is the statue frag. It's all, oh, this is the short axe, and this is a steel sword, and this is an iron lance or some shit, and this is a javelin. It's awful. It's like so many chests are like, do we really care about that? Now everyone brings up he charges you 50 gold for every lock he picks, which yes, he does. That's not a big deal. 50 gold is nothing. And like at the end of the day, right? 50 gold for a steel sword, it's cheaper than the armory. It's the deployment slot that like you're spending a deploy slot on him that feels annoying. But then, like I was saying with Leith and Mordecai, once you get into the late game, you get like 14 deploy slots, and it's fine. I just don't think Thief Utility is like all that good in Tellius, because there's just not much you gain from it. Like, it's a might as well situation, where like, I might as well deploy him. Yeah. That's kind of all there is for that. I know you can steal some siege tomes later. You can't actually. I mean, you can technically, but you basically can't. So everyone gasses up stealing siege tomes. I should probably address the siege tome thing. Thank you for reminding me that people say that, because it is a thing that is technically true, but functionally false. What I mean by that is, in order to steal a siege tome, first, you have to trick an enemy into equipping not their siege tome. You can do this in two ways. You can... Oh, no, I think it's only one way. Does silence unequip it? I genuinely don't remember. You might be able to silence them. I know sleep does not unequip weapons, so you cannot put an enemy to sleep to steal their weapons. Silence might, but I don't think it does. Someone in the comments correct me on that if I'm wrong. The main way that you would trick an enemy into equipping a weapon other than the siege tome is you have them attack with their other weapon, because usually siege tome users will have a siege tome, which is 3 to 10 range, or a regular tome, which is 1 to 2 range. And so the theory is you stick someone in 2 range, no one is in 3 to 10 range, they will switch to attacking with like tornado instead of blizzard, right? In practice, this doesn't happen for 2 reasons. 1, siege tomes are far enough away that they're gonna drain their tome before you're able to put someone there. But 2, even if you put someone in their range, siege tome users are not stationary in this game. In a lot of other Fire Emblems, if someone has a siege tome, then they won't move. But in this game, most of them move. And so if you put someone in 2 range of them, they'll just be like, cool, I'm gonna take 1 step backwards and still hit you with the blizzard. And now the blizzard is still equipped and you can't steal it. So like stealing siege tomes, technically possible, but it's just not going to happen without some obscure level of AI manipulation that just is not fucking worth it. Because the game gives you 5 siege tomes for free, if we count Purge. No, 5 before Purge, because you get 1 copy of Blizzard, 2 copies of Bolting, 2 copies of Meteor. So like you've got plenty of siege tomes. And that's before factoring in that siege tomes require Volk to have, what, 17 strength? FE9 Blizzard. FE9 Blizz. I spelled Blizzard wrong. Oh, no, 10 weight. Damn, they're not actually all that heavy. Okay, so ignore that last part. But everything else is bad. Everything else is bad. Kupo, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. How is Volk's strength base? He's got 10 strength, or 12 strength, right? And then 50% growth. So like, and that's why Volk is the better thief compared to Zoth, is he'll actually be able to steal stuff. But like, I don't know. I just don't think there's that much worth stealing. But for the memes, I'm gonna rig strength levels on him. That's what we're doing right now, for the memes. Alright, we do a reset. I'm just gonna rig it. I'm just gonna rig it. It's Radiant Dawn where siege tomes are stupidly heavy. Yeah, because you gotta, like, that one you have to, like, super rig. And in Radiant Dawn, siege tome users are stationary, so it's actually more reasonable to steal as long as you rig the strength levels. Holy shit. Failed the 50% twice. Do I have to wait until next chapter to forge? So we already forged this chapter. It was the Rolf Good, which is a minus strength lance for Oscar. It's Oscar's new PRF. Volk, I swear to God. This is so not fucking worth it. He's got a 50% strength growth, though. He's got the Oscar curse. He's got the Oscar curse. Thief level up. The thing is, you should expect Volk to actually get strength. Like, he does actually have a good strength growth, but he's decided to curse me. Curse my name for generations. There we go, baby. Eventually, Oscar's whole inventory will be PRFs. Three attempts isn't really a lot. I mean, failing 4 out of 5 50% rolls does feel pretty unfortunate, not gonna lie. The odds on it aren't great, is all I'll say. There we go. Volk only has one support partner. Yeah, it's Bastion, and their support is a teaser for Radiant Dawn, for the most dumb and stupid Radiant Dawn plot point. All right. Are you gonna do Knife Sage Soren? I had someone ask if they could pay for a Knife Sage, and I asked how much they were offering, but I haven't gotten an answer yet. So it's on the table. Bribery. Jesus fucking Christ. These aren't even real enemies. These aren't even real enemies. These are the fucking patrolling soldiers who are intentionally weak. Holy fucking shit. Holy fucking shit. How? This isn't a real enemy. Oscar, are you okay? Look out! We're under attack! Commander, down a mill. The castle defense has been breached. What are your orders, sir? What fortunate timing. We were starting to run low on prisoners. Do try to capture them alive. I won't have you robbing me of my fun. As you command, sir. You've been spotted. There's nothing left to do but fight. Alright, Ileana. El Thunder, this guy. Oscar, this is what we call a noodle-armed failure. Oscar, Oscar, Oscar. Always stuck in your books. Yeah, do any of you have stealables? I don't think so. It's just Danimil's Steel Lance. Yeah, okay. Regal Sword you. Tellius Thief moment. I'm telling you, Tellius Thief utility is just not particularly good. Iron Bow Rolf. Pew! 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 Iron Sword Mia. Would a slim and dagger weapons be good if they had 100 crit? Like, as part of game design? Like, a guaranteed crit... Do you mean, like, a guaranteed crit enemy with, like, bad... Guaranteed crit weapon with, like, bad might, but always crits? I think that would be pretty good. Because, remember, you can just, like, put it on a unit with good strength, right? And then guaranteed basically triple that strength. Alright, Oscar, you got this shit. Make knives into 1-2 range swords. No, make them the most pathetic weapons ever. I mean, 1-2 range swords would be kind... Well, then they're not really swords, right? I guess just... You mean, like, accurate, basically? Is that what you mean by swords? Like, just accurate? Low might, high accuracy? Yo, she's miracle maxing. She's buffing that luck stat.
Tell me something, will you? What's gonna happen to us? Those Dane soldiers took my friends away, and they didn't come back. Oh, what did they do to them? Oh, something bad happened, I just know it.
Quiet, fool. Keep your cowardly mutterings to yourself. It matters not what vile torture they devise. A true knight of Crimea is bold, steadfast, and strong. I care not if they pull out my nails with tongs or insert pins into the soft flesh under my belly or yank.
Stop it! I can't bear torture. I'm not a professional soldier. I'm just part of the militia. I can't believe I've left my family behind for this. Will I ever see him again? Oh, I want to go home.
Curses. If only I had a weapon of some sort. Help will come. I will not give up. The crit underflow. Oh yeah, the crit underflow kind of proves that it would be absolutely busted. Because, like, the Japanese speedrun... The Japanese version speedrun just has Marcia with a crit Slim Lance, and that, like, that's good enough. Marcia with a So for anyone who doesn't know, in the Japanese version, you can give an underflow crit to a weapon. If you give negative crit to a weapon, then it's a guaranteed crit, basically. And that's really good. If we get a point of strength, we might actually be able to deal damage with the Rolf Good. You can give weapons negative crit. Only in the Japanese version, because it's a glitch. Holy shit, Oscar, you suck. World's worst Oscar. Yo, wait! I found Oscar's use! He can set up a kill for Rolf! That's his purpose! He can set up kills for Rolf! Rolf Gaming. Rolf is my favorite bad unit. Like, I absolutely adore this small child. Okay, rescue you. Over to here. Take drop. Oh, fuck. You can't take drop. The funny thing about Oscar being bad is he's probably as good as Vander and Engage. This Oscar is worse than Engage Vander. Mostly because y'all are underrating Engage Vander. But most Oscars are better than Vander. Damn. Vander is so funny because somehow people recognize that a unit not being endgame viable doesn't make them bad. But, like, we've forgotten the generational lessons of Jagen's. Jagen good? No, sorry. I'm abandoning that idea because Vander. Oh, no doubling. Yo, Rolf contributing! Okay, Wind Tome here. The Vander run I'm doing right now, he's fine. He just needs speed and build. R/Mia's armpits. Bada bing, bada boom. You. Bonky bonky. Vander actually having a high growth total is funny to me. He's just too old to get experience. Yeah, he's very much, like, he's mostly just hurt by Engage's EXP formula being just very unfavorable for him. There we go. Ike, come on main. What does that mean? What did Dunyappin mean by this? Vander is trash. We're not having this discourse again. Jagan bad bottom decks. Don't worry, I support your right to believe that promoted units are experienced thieves. I think the Vander bad stuff is just one of those things where the community will often just collectively come to the stupidest possible conclusion given a set of data. And I think Vander bad is just one of those situations where the loudest voices in the room are also the most wrong. But YouTuber opinions, right? The early YouTuber opinions were Vander is absolute trash, and now it's unrecoverable from that situation. Jagan Bat, Rosado S, Vale Goto, Louis Oifi. Oh god, the Louis versus Vander stuff is so funny. Louis discourse is weird. Cause it, like, started with Louis as the best unit of all time, best Arbor Knight in the franchise, was like, how soon we forget the existence of Oswin. I'm not even gonna include Effie there, because, you know, the cheater answer is like, well, Effie's not an Armor Knight, she's actually a Archer, Berserker, whatever you've reclassed her to, right? But, like, how soon we forget things like Radiant Dawn, Tyronio and Radiant Dawn, Oswin, though, like, Oswin's definitely the best armor in the series. If we are not counting Effie, like, Effie's probably better. But Effie's also probably a cheater answer. Titania says, no EXP for you. I don't hate Vander because of discourse. I hate him because he was bad in my playthrough and my partner's playthrough. I mean, Oscar's pretty fucking bad in this playthrough, but I think we can acknowledge, I mean, maybe we can't. I always like to do the check-in. We are just joking when we say Oscar bad. No one here actually believes Oscar bad, Rolf good, but we'll keep saying it because it's funny. I dropped my candy. But yeah, in a game with the amount of randomness that Fire Emblem has, that's just what's gonna happen, right? Is like, sometimes a character will over or underperform, and that's fine. Promotion plus bow access fixes all of Oscar's problems. I mean, we're giving him bows, but from an advice standpoint, you should not give him bows unless, like me, you want to meme around with the triangle attack. I need to play Path of Radiance. It's the only pro-Bara Fire Emblem game in an ocean full of yaoi. I don't know what pro-Bara means. Yaoi is like when two boys hold hands and kiss, right? I'm not actually familiar with most, like, anime teams. Bara is bear or masked men. Well, Path of Radiance Ike isn't really a bear. It's Radiant Dawn, the sequel, where he gains, like, all of the bear muscle mass. Like, I think what happened is in Path of Radiance, he's just, like, you know, young little twink. And then Soren is, like, he catches Soren reading, like, Bear's Monthly Digest or something, and he's like, I gotta change my whole fucking personality for this guy, and then he does. That's the read. That's my take. Oh, you mean the Lagoos? Oh, like Mordecai. Mordecai's like a big cuddle bear. I love Mordecai. Yo, Boyd is absolutely popping the fuck off. Like, keep giving me more of that. Yes, please, sir. So for anyone who doesn't know, because there's quite a bit of, like, misinformation around how you recruit these units, you just have to open the cell doors, which you can do either by picking them with Volk or by breaking them with, like, by having you attack with the weapon. You don't actually have to talk to the characters in jail, and there's not really a benefit to doing so. Because they just become yellow units. They don't even become blue units. Still 9 speed. Yeah, I mean, we can't win them all. Is there a reason to direct them out? You get like 10 bonus experience for each unit that escapes, but it's not worth it because you'll lose more than that for the turns it takes. Oh, fuck. I meant to do break. I hit the wrong button. I hit the wrong button. The ordinary weapons in the chest are probably meant to be their confiscated weapons. Yo, wait, that's so big-brained, though! You're right! Okay, wait, because it's, like, the short axe is Kieran's. And there's, like, a lance, there's, like, a steel lance or some shit? And, like, that's gotta be Nephine's and Brahm's stuff. How did I never think of that before? That's so fucking smart. Our Steel Lance is D rank, Nephine starts at E. I think we get a Javelin. I think you get a Javelin. Nephine can use the Javelin at base. She just can't use steel weapons, lol. Point and laugh at Nephine's weapon ranks, everyone. I don't think these guys move, but I don't want to risk it. I think we go Rolf good. Brain expanded. Alright, so we've opened that jail cell. We just need to open Nephine's now. And take on the boss. So that's 22, knocks you to 14. You go over here. You heal. Riss is on the bench. Yeah, so this chapter, he's not permanently benched. This chapter is, you have a pretty, it's like, weirdly, it's got like a kind of harsh deploy cut. So I didn't have room for him and everyone else that I wanted. Especially because Ileana was force deployed. Every time I see Atelius mage do very little damage, I'm sad. It is sad. It is sad. Oh god, Ike. Yo, he fights for his friends! Gotta be careful not to escape with my only healer by accident. Ileana and Rolf are doing the same damage. That's so sad. Rolf is dealing more damage than Oscar to the walls, so, you know, there's that. That's the Super Smash Brothers line. The 1 HP heal. I was hoping I could stop from doubling. Look at this gamer! Titania is so unironically good. Yeah, I was hoping I could weigh her down with the hammer or poleaxe, because they're ridiculously heavy. And, like, stop the doubling. I could not. And that's Nephany recruited. Okay. Just be glad they're not equipped. You don't want to be doubled by the wall. Look who's come to play. I'm so very happy to see you. Now then, are you ready to become my prisoners and live an eternal life of bliss within my lovely dungeon? That's so much fucking damage. Look at how much fucking damage that was. Good thing we healed Boyd. Alright. Volk, you live. This guy kind of doesn't fuck around. Like, he's kind of ridiculous. Boyd, I need an adult. Don't worry, that's what Titania's here for. We have armor effectiveness, don't worry, don't worry. It's not what Oscar's here for, I'll tell you that for damn fucking sure. 15. Holy guacamole. This guy's so ridiculous. El Thunder barely tickles the Armor Knight. Yeah, what's his res stat? Fucking 10! Armor Knight, by the way. Armor Knight, by the way. Oh no, Boyd probably gets doubled with the hammer, doesn't he? Yeah, because he's got 10 speed. Hammer would weigh Boyd down to 3 AS, right? Hammer would weigh Boyd down to 1 AS. He gets doubled with the hammer equipped. God damn. 20 fucking weight. Alright, I have a bot that I have to ban. Oh, yes. Excellent. What a defiant stare you have. You are exactly the kind of prisoner I long for. When do you usually promote? By the way, is 10 usually enough? Someone asked about this during the last stream as well. I'm just buying time while I'm trying to ban this bot. I think it depends on the game, but in Path of Radiance, I think most people just want to get to 20. Because caps are, like, weirdly important in this game. I will watch as hopes fade from your eyes and revel in the despair that clouds your vision. It will be transcendent. Don't count on it. I don't know, like, he's got ridiculous stats. Maybe he can count on it. There's barely any Master Seals. There's 3, but the third one comes in chapter, like, 21. It's without a king. It's in without a king. So, there's basically functionally only 2. Chat, we have an opportunity. No! Damn, that would have been awesome. We can go for a second chance. We can give him a second chance. Rolf, bad, Mia, good. Vantage. Dodge. Vantage. That's my boy! You will not escape. I will see all of you dead. You will be executed. That's my boy. There's the javelin, that's Nephine's weapon. That was so not worth it. Terrible level up. It's not about the stats. It's about... I don't know what it's about, but it's about the Rolf. It's about the Rolf. That's Kieran's short axe. Yeah, so that's Brom's steel lance. He needs bad level ups to bank good level ups. Steel lance. So it was 2 steel lances, a short axe. Oh, no, it was counter. It was counter. Because one of the steel lances we stole. Yeah, but this is what I'm talking about when I say, like, these are not very good chest rewards. Mia, you triggered all of the enemies on turn 1. Time to get out of here. Counter is a skill, yeah, but it's a bad skill. It's like one of the worst. It's so bad. There are worse skills. Oh, so many Path of Radiance skills are just trash, though. I brought one of the Crimean soldiers who was being held prisoner here. I'm sure you're unaware of this, but I am... Princess Silencia! Oh, yes, quite right. I am Kieran! I served under General Joffrey as a leader of Crimea's 5th platoon! My platoon had the honor of escorting you from the palace during Dane's attack! Really? You were there when... I was! Lord Redding ordered my platoon to accompany General Joffrey and serve you as an escort. Our mission was to see you safely out to Crimea to Gallia's king. But we failed you when you were lost to us. I believed my worthless life was at its end. Yet here you are! To think that I would be so blessed to see you again. Such emotion. The tears. Kieran, were any of the others? Such terrific emotion. So, I beg your pardon? Did anyone other than you survive? Of course! Though I was the only one unfortunate enough to suffer the misery of captivity, General Joffrey and several of his soldiers fought the Dane attack. They were able to slip away. Even now, they waited Crimea, hoping for one last chance to strike a blow against Dane. Joffrey? He's alive? Oh, how those words drive off the shadows across my heart. Thank you, Kieran. Thank you for surviving. You are too kind, Your Highness. The opportunity to serve you, again, is the greatest reward I could ask for. As for as long as I draw breath, I will stand ready at your side. This I swear. Alright, we know where Kieran stands. How about you two? Will you recognize Princess Silencia as the rightful heir to the Crimean throne? Will you fight for her?
Look here, my name's Brom, and this lass is Nethany. We're just simple country militiamen from the same territory. Now, we don't know much about nobles and stuff. Kings and queens don't matter much when you're working the fields. Of course, we know we'll be in trouble if someone takes away our fields away from us. That's why we joined the militia. This King of Dane's no friend of ours. And I hear he's doing some terrible things, too. Vile tortures with rusted nails, and more. What's going to happen to my family? I left them back home. I'm so worried I can hardly see straight. That's a reference to the fact that I'm gay, yup.
If you can defeat the King of Dane, will this country return to the way it used to be? Is that what you're after? That is my hope. It may not be as powerful as my father, but I'll never abandon Crimea.
You sound like a lady who stands by her word. Looks like my choice is easy.
Mine too.
I've fought in your name. Now I'll help you and yours, and we'll send those dang milksops packing.
Thank you. I beg your pardon? You're... Oh, blessed saint!
Master Sapphire, you live?
Brom, Nephany, are either of you wounded?
We're fine, but what about you? You were jailed for helping us. I'm so sorry, I hope they didn't hurt you.
It's nothing to fret about. Everyone is safe, and that's what matters. Oh, blessed one. Pardon me, may I have a moment? And you are? I'm Ike, the commander of this mercenary company. That must be you're the one responsible for giving me back my freedom. I'm Sepharin, a monk on a pilgrimage. Please allow me to express my gratitude. Thank you. You don't have to thank us. However, I am curious about your situation. Why were you aiding Crimean soldiers? Do you question my story? You're a monk on a pilgrimage, as well as an ally of the Crimean resistance fighters. Under the circumstances, do you blame me? Tell me something, Ike. If you could come across a wounded person, would you ignore his plight? Normally, no, I couldn't. But in times like these, where it means risking my own life, I don't know, it's tough to say. You're quite honest. However, if actually faced with such a choice, a man such as yourself would not hesitate. If faced with an individual in pain, you would act instinctively. Your body would not wait for the command. Who are you? Really? You're so calm, so full of peace. I can't believe you're a simple monk. If you'll forgive me, I must be going. Fare thee well, young warrior. I'm certain we shall meet again. Ike? Oh, hello, Volk. What do you want? I was thinking about traveling with you for a bit. I'll be in the general area, so if you need anything, you can call me. I'll help you out. For a fee, of course. What did you say? Why would you do such a thing? In times such as these, there must be many parties that need intelligence. Well, you sparked my curiosity. And besides... No, we'll just have to leave it at that. That's not acceptable. Don't be so inflexible. It's not as if I'll be joining your merry band or anything. This is strictly business. And yet you... Titania? I believe this is a good opportunity. We will almost certainly have needs of this man's talents. He is a dubious character at best, but at least we know his motives. Everything begins and ends with gold. He'll be easy to control. Soren, he's standing right there. I don't think he minds. What'll it be like? The decision is yours. I like how they give you a second fucking chance to deny yourself the thief. It's like, do you want Volk? Yes, no. Are you sure you want Volk? You used him for one chapter. Do you not want him anymore? Very well. You may do as you like. Excellent. Call me if you need anything. First the thief and then that monk. What an odd band of characters you've attracted. Ranulf, have you finished your errands? All done. What about those two? Yeah, they're both rather mysterious. Well, the monk seems like a decent enough fellow. Ranulf, he's the villain of the next game! Ranulf, you idiot! Determining who's a friend and who's a foe is something I must be able to do, but it's just so hard. That's because you don't have enough information to base your judgment on. All we can do now is press on. You're right. What if Volk betrays us? That would be bad. That'd be very funny. Give you a second renewal scroll for dropping Volk. What if they gave you the lethality scroll? Rolf doesn't have the internet. That's fair. Heroes spoiled it. Remember when Heroes spoiled the Flame Emperor's identity? Ranulf is 75% better than average because he has 75% of Rolf's name. Rolf good! Well, we're here. Welcome to Toha, Crimea's westernmost port city. What's with this place? The people are all going about their business. Why aren't they worried about Dane, about the war? It's because this area is fairly isolated. Dane's army hasn't come this far, and so life goes on as before. Dane's planned to seize the capital, then slowly and steadily expand its sphere of influence until it controls everything. Surely these people have some idea of what's happening. Ignorance is a form of bliss, is it not? These people don't know what it's like to lose war. They don't want to know. Crimea as a nation has always been blessed by peace. Perhaps this is due to temperament of its rulers, but the country hasn't seen serious warfare for centuries. While minor skirmishes within the Kingdom of Dane, have been legion, only the eastern borderlands have taken damage. And yet, I know this peace will not last. When we met Dane forces on our scouting mission, they attacked us merely for being within the Crimean border. Humans are shameless creatures that carelessly ignore any misfortune which does not befall them directly. They can and often do turn a blind eye to all manner of wickedness, so long as it does not touch them or their kin. They will bow their heads, condemning those victims for bringing a calamity upon themselves. And then they will cast their eyes towards the heaven and thank them, while their neighbors lay dying around them. But the war is happening here. This is their home, not someone else's. When the day more darkens their doorsteps, perhaps they will understand. When the peace they take for granted is shattered, and their sons and daughters slaughtered in the streets, perhaps then they will comprehend the misfortunes they so long pretend not to see. I have no sympathy for them. My goodness, the nastier the truth, the blunter he gets. Quite a delightful staff officer you have there. He has an understandable streak of severity in him, but something's bothering him, that's for sure. It's to be expected. Even I'm a bit shocked by this place. Can they truly be as placid as they appear? Soren's very empathetic young... Though he's not! Soren's a very empathetic young man. The emotions of this place may have proven too much for him. Soren is not empathetic. He's pragmatic. What the fuck? That has to be a translation thing. That has to be... Because, like, FE9's translation is notoriously very bad. That has to be a translation error. I refuse to believe that they thought they were writing an empathetic character. Because, like, he's supposed to be. It's like, Titania is the empathy one. Soren is the pragmatism. They're the angel and devil on your shoulder, right? That's why when you, like, ask for advice, Titania's like, this guy's suspicious, we don't trust him. And Soren's like, we can use him. Or, like, when Grail asks for advice, Soren's like, let her die. Empathy, am I right? Like, Soren's pragmatist. And, like, the idea is you have two advisors, and one is the big pragmatics, like, here's just the best thing for us, and the other is, like, this is the quote-unquote right thing to do. Whether you agree with it or not, like, she's guided by her heart. To be fair, Soren is empathetic. Acting cold and lashing out happens precisely because you're uncomfortable with how strongly you're feeling. I don't know. I think, it could also just be that Path of Radiance is a generally poorly written game. But the very first, like, interactions we get with Soren are very much just, let's cast emotions to the side. If you're unwilling to extend empathy to the vulnerable person begging for her life, and you say, let's just hand her over and get her killed, that's not an empathetic character. I don't think that him being cold is like a counter argument to that. Ignoring impending doom because you cannot prevent it. Fatalism is by nature a disheartening beast. Well, for all those born with nothing, there are those born with everything. Perhaps those who never notice the difference are the ones we should envy. What's that supposed to mean? Huh? Oh, I was talking to myself. Pay me no mind. Now, I gotta see a man about a ship. While I'm gone, why don't you get your supplies squared away? I'm sure the journey ahead will require a lot of packing. Randolph, I'll go with you. No, that's alright. You should supervise the supply acquisition. You're going to be at sea for months, you know? I know that, but... What is it, Titania? She's worried about me. She doesn't want to leave a solitary Laguz wandering around Bjork City. I thought Crimea and Gallia were allied nations. Why would a wandering Laguz be cause for concern? Well, it shouldn't be, but... Do you remember what King Kanagas told you? The friendship between Crimea and Gallia exists only between the ruling class. It hasn't taken root in the minds of the common citizenry at all. With that being said, things have improved quite a bit since King Ramon ascended to the throne. Reports of hunts and other such horrors have all but disappeared. Oh, don't worry, I'll be fine. I've got connections, see? It's not like I'll be roaming the docks begging for passage. Alright then, the job is yours. Please be careful. You too. Don't mess anything up. Everyone in Tellus is racist when the scene demands it. Well, I think in part it's part of the writing team behind Path of Radiance just views racism the same as any other generic character flaw, right? Cynthia, I believe you paid for the next forge, so let me know what you want for that. Meanwhile, I'll start arming people. Speaking of bad localization, I hear that a lot of the Tellius games, but is there any effort or project in the works to better translate them? I don't think so. Can you wait 5 minutes? Sure. We've got some unit reviews to do anyway. I mean, if Oscar's gonna keep getting stat screwed, maybe we give the Seraph Robe to Kieran instead. Let's do some unit reviews real quick. Let's do our unit reviews. So we just got 3 new characters, Kieran, Brahm, and Nephany. Let's start with the good one. Not just the best of them, but like literally the only one who's good. Kieran! Kieran is your second Cavalier. He's an Axe Cav. And he has very similar stats to Oscar. This is about what a level 12 Oscar is gonna look like on average. Don't look at our Oscar. His growths are also like generally good. 60% HP is disappointing, but 50% strength is good. 15 magic is irrelevant. 50% skill, 40% speed, 25% luck, 40% defense, 30% res. And his bases are really solid. 11 strength, 12 speed. He doubles in either one rounds or comes close to one rounding a lot of stuff. And 10 defense, 30 HP means he's gonna stand up to a lot of physical punishment. His only real weak point is 1 resistance, which like, mages are not very threatening. Notably, if you instantly give him a Master Seal, his bases are just Titania with a little bit more strength, I think, or a little bit more... He's slightly better Titania if you just Master Seal him. Now, obviously, Titania's been around longer, like ours has gotten levels, yada, yada, yada. But it is, like, pretty cool that Kieran is just... He's got really solid bases. I think he's the best of the Cavaliers. Not by a huge margin, but a noticeable margin, just because he's always going to have the good bases, and he joins just on time. He also does have axes, which are the best weapon type, but once everyone promotes, everyone gets axes, so it's not as big a deal as I think sometimes people make it out to be. He's going to have a better axe rank than other people, but weapon rank raises really fucking fast in Path of Radiance. You don't have to worry about weapon rank. So I think it's really just, it's fine. It's just fine. He starts with the Gamble skill. There's sort of a conspiracy theory that I buy into, that Gamble was meant to be Makalov's, and Kieran was meant to have Tempest. And that, I mean, I buy it, but it's not, you know, it's not guaranteed or whatever. I've seen arguments for why Kieran should have Gamble. Like, he does reckless maneuvers, and Gamble's reckless maneuvers. So, like, I can see it if you squint at it, but I think it makes more sense on Makalov. But Gamble's basically a nothing skill. He's just, like, a Cav with good stats and a good weapon type. That's kind of all there is to it. Again, Path of Radiance units, boring. Cav good. Cav good, armor bad. Brahm is a very fucking unfortunate unit. Obviously, he has the same downsides as, like, the mages and armors do, of just being low movement, low speed unit. But Braum is like, he's supposed to be your sort of replacement for Gatri in the same way that Rolf is your replacement for Shannon, who temporarily disappeared. Unfortunately, we get Gatri 2 maps after Braum joins us, right? So if you really want an Armor Knight on your team, just wait 2 chapters and you get Gatri, who's just better. Like, he's just got better bulk, better strength, better everything. Meanwhile, Braum is just, like, fine stats? His growths are also pretty bad. 75% HP is good. 45% strength is fine. 10% magic, 50% skill is good. 25% speed is yucky. 20% luck is really unfortunate. 20% luck and a 4 luck base on what's supposed to be a tanky unit is absolutely abysmal. It means he'll face crit from most enemies, and like, if an enemy crits him, yeah, it's not gonna do a ton, because he has decent defense with 13 base and 55% growth, but like, Thunder Mages will wreck his shit, because they'll crit him and they'll just fucking crit one-shot him. But also just, it makes it so that he's facing, like, the idea of a tank is you face a ton of enemies on enemy phase, and if you're facing crit on every single one of them, your bulk is just a lot less reliable than you would hope. He also just doesn't have any special traits going for him. I guess Water Affinity, in theory, is good because it's attack and defense, but in practice, since it rounds down, and, I mean, supports don't fucking matter in Path of Radiance. They really don't. So he's like the most nothing burger unit. Arguably, he's better than Nephany, though, because at least he has D-rank lances. He can use a steel lance. Nephany, where do we start with Nephany? So Nephany is like, give me a Marsha with nothing. Nothing? Nothing. E-rank lances. Abysmal bases. Like, her bases are worse than Marsha's, and her growths? Her bases and growths line up in such a way that on average, Nephany will be at around Marsha's stats at all points. But she's infantry instead of flyer, so she's just worse. 55% HP, 40% growth, 40% strength, 20% magic, woohoo, flame lance, 55% skill, 55% speed, 25% luck, 35% defense, 25% resistance. These are absolutely abysmal bases and growths before even accounting for the fact that, like, so she's level 7, she's under-leveled, but not by much. Like, it's not like a Rolf situation, where at least you get a ton of experience. She's gonna get a little bit more experience than the rest of your units, but she's just, like, she's got stats that are, like, behind where... she's got stats that are behind where you would want a level 7 unit to have. She's got E-rank lances, which makes sense, because she's, like, not actually a soldier, she's a militiaman, right? But, like... it means she can only use Iron, Slim, and Javelin at base. Weapon rank is not a big deal in Path of Radiance. Within 2 maps, she'll get Steel Access, but it's just another mark against this unit who has so many tiny dings against her. Like, as an infantry, you're already working uphill against the Cavs, and then you've got abysmal stats and abysmal weapon rank, and you're not under-leveled enough to justify it, and your growths are not good. It's just so sad. The biggest thing she has going for her is Wrath, and Wrath is actually a pretty darn good skill. It adds a flat 50% crit rate to you if you're at half health or below, and that's huge. It also is worth noting that the 50% crit is calculated after Hoplon Guard, so against units with like a Hoplon Guard or Ashnard who's crit immune, you still have the 50% crit rate because of Wrath, which is very funny. It's gotta be a glitch, but it's like, it makes it technically better than what it looks like. The problem is you have to be at half HP. For Nephany, being at half HP means you're kind of on death's door. Like, her HP is so low to begin with. Her defense is alright, 9 defense, but then 35% growth is like, eh? She's not going to be able to take advantage of Wrath all that often, even once you invest into her. Like, she only has a 55% HP growth. It's icky. Wrath in a vacuum is very strong, but in practice, you only crit half time. Because the sort of argument is like, oh, we'll give her Vantage, right? Vantage wrap sweep things with the Javelin. Let's fucking go. But if you're using a Javelin, you only crit half the time. If you're using like a Killer Lance and like the crit bonus, sure, but then you can't counter at 2 range. And again, it only takes 1 missed crit to then just die to getting counterattacked with that amount of investment. Like, I think Nephany is one of the worst units in the cast. But soldier bias, cute girl bias, people will continue to glaze the shit out of her. Like, it's just not a fight that you're gonna win, unfortunately. Nephany fans will continue to plug their ears and go la 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 when you point to, like, her average stats. Just everything she has working against her. Because soldier good. Excellent argument, however, Nephany cute. You see, but like, there are people, because I know that you're joking. If you, the thing is, when you phrase it like that, right, it makes it clear that it's a joke. But there's people who will like tear you to shreds if you put Nephany anywhere lower than like A tier on a tier list. It's the Path of Radiance is an easy game syndrome, where I didn't soft lock because I used a bad unit, therefore they can't possibly be bad. From the outside looking in, Nephany seems eh. I'm not a soldier fan. Yeah, she just doesn't offer really anything. Like, in theory, she should offer Wrath, which is really good, but in practice, her stat spread just does not support Wrath in the way you would want it to. If a unit like Braum had Wrath, that would be a better, like, that would be another conversation, because Braum can, like, tank a bunch. But Nephany, even with Night Ward, which boosts your defenses, I mean, first off, Night Ward is competitive, right? Like, the Cavs want it, but even with Night Ward, she's just not tanky enough to really take advantage of it. And unfortunately, Vantage Wrath just isn't reliable enough. Yeah. Alright, those are our things. We're doing Sorin Wind Tome. What are we naming it? You said you wanted to give Sorin a PRF Wind Tome. What are we naming it? And what are our stats? Yeah, we're making a Wind Tome for Sorin. Deploy Ike. Okay. I'll give it like a little bit of extra attack, I guess. Might versus Flyers. Woo! Oh, right, you can't even change the book's colors. That's so stupid. Because I was gonna make it blue for Ike's blue hair, but I forgot. You can't even change the tome's colors. Yo! She already has the knife. She wants it. She wants it so bad. She wants it so bad. Hey there, traveler. Do you have everything you need? If you stop by my humble shop, you'll find the best deals in town. What'd you say, interested? Yeah, that sounds great. Hey, listen, can I ask you a question? No problemo. You can ask me anything, especially if it's about my low prices. What do the townspeople think of Dane? You knew that they were coming. Didn't anyone think to flee Crimea? Flee? Don't be absurd. But Crimea lost the war. Yeah, I know, and honestly, that doesn't really affect us common folk, you know? Truth is, we don't care who sits on the throne. To us, they're all just faceless beings who rule on from high. If they tried to raise taxes or something, you better believe we'd protest. But otherwise, I mean, take the King of Dane. He's just another man, right? If we keep working, he can keep living the high life. So it's not like he's going to treat us poorly or anything. As long as we can live our lives and have a little happiness, we aren't going to worry too much about it. Oh, but if we were invaded by Gallia, well, that's a different story altogether. And if our country were overrun by those savage beasts, now who knows what could happen. Now that scares me. What the? Hey, come back! What about my low prices? Now, what was that all about?
Pardon me, buddy. I haven't seen you around town before. You a traveling mercenary?
Yeah, I suppose you could say that.
Nice sword. You look like a man who knows his business. If you're looking for work, I got a proposition for you.
A proposition?
I run a vigilante group that keeps our town fair safe.
Strongman like you would be most welcome. Thanks, but I got something lined up.
Oh, really? That's too bad. And not to see? Maybe. Ah! Cautious to the end. I like that. Well, just in case you are, I want you to have this.
What's this?
It's a very special sword. It'll come in handy if you ever find yourself out to sea. Not that you would. Not that you would.
Really? You're giving me a sword? Are you sure?
Well, there's one condition. Once you finish your job, I want you to come back and seize me. I'd like you to reconsider that vigilante position.
Understood. Thanks again for the blade. Princess! My Lord Ike. Why are you here all by yourself? That's not very safe. I was looking at the town. I'm unfamiliar with the world outside the Imperial Villa where I was raised. This is the first time I've been able to see how other people live. Everything is so new and different in my eyes. This is a town, isn't it? There's so much energy and everyone seems to be enjoying themselves. With all the boats coming in and out of the harbor, this town's livelier than most, that's for sure. And it's not like nothing ever happened. All the death and destruction we've seen feels like a horrible dream.
Hi-ya! Hi-ya!
What are you doing?
I'm trying to regain the superb physique I lost when I was being held prisoner.
Are you ready to board the ship?
I was bored and ready. Woo-ah! I don't need anything.
Even as we speak, many of my fellow Crimeans are suffering at the hands of Dane. I cannot rush to their aid today. If I cannot rush to their aid today, then I can at least prepare myself for the day when I can. I see. Well, we're ready. When we're ready, we'll let you know. Understood. Sorry to have interrupted you. My Lord Ike! What is it? You rescued and cared for Princess Elincia. You have my heartfelt thanks. She, for us. She is our one solitary hope. Yeah. All right, enough talking. Until we make our triumphant return to Malor, all I can do is keep trading. Ha! Yeah! Wah! Careful, don't pull anything. I like the support he has with Marcia, where he accidentally chops his head off. What are you looking at?
No, just this. Sort of a good luck charm. My family gave it to me when I left home. We never had much money, so my parents gathered some stones from back on our farm and put them in this leather pouch. Not much to look at, but it means a lot to me. Every day I take them out and talk to them like they're my family. I always everyone. I'm out here doing the best I can. Don't worry, I'll be home soon. Just stuff like that. I know it sounds foolish, but if I don't do this, I won't have the courage to fight. Don't worry about my feelings. You can laugh. Acting like this at my age. What a silly man I am.
It's not silly, Braum. You're a strong man who decided to fight for the sake of his family. I know your family is very proud of you.
Thank you, Ike. Thank you.
Well, that's that. Are you ready to go, Nephany? Ah, Ike! What is it? Nope, nothing. I'm fine. Are you sure? Yep, sure I'm sure. You know, it's hard being a prisoner. It's physically and mentally demanding. I need to know, can you fight? Not a problem. It's easy for you to say, but you sound like you're about to fall over. No, that's just like a habit. I just have this way of talking. Just talking. Sorry. No need to apologize. As long as you're not feeling ill, everything's fine. Alright, I'll see you later. Alright then. The father of my beloved is a gentle soul. He doesn't need anything, but he would like a forged hand axe. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm gonna ever be allowed to forge a hand axe for it again. People keep donating forge money. So we can make fucking deploy Ike and the microwave and whatnot. We should be leaving. I say unfortunately, but I would prefer to get money than not have it. Would you like $1 or $2 ask question? We should keep leaving. We should be leaving, but looks like everyone's gonna be a while yet. My Lord Ike, are you ready to go? Me? As long as I got my sword, I'm always ready. A sword? That's it? If I've got my cape, I can sleep just about anywhere. And as for food, well, something always turns up. That's delightful. It is? Very much so. Princess, I don't think I'll ever understand them. What's going on? Why all the excitement? My Lord Ike, there's a crowd gathering at the town entrance. That's... Attention, citizens! We have received reports of Crimean army stragglers hiding in this town. From this point forth, the Dane army will blockade all entry points. No one comes or goes without our leave. The harbor is also closed. No ships will be allowed to sail. Ike, Dane troops have... I know. All we can do is move towards the docks and try not to be discovered. Have you seen Randolph? Not yet. Wait, here he comes now. Randolph, over here! Whew! Things are sure heating up, aren't they? How are things on your end? Everything's all set. You just need to sneak down to the harbor now. You'll be met by a man with a dusky parlor. His name's Nasir. Nasir's a man you can trust. I've explained your situation to him, and he's willing to help. If you can reach his ship safely, he'll take care of everything and deliver you to Begnion. Randolph, aren't you coming too? I was planning on it, but Dane's movements have me concerned. I'll stay behind and see what's going on. Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't watching where I was going. No, pardon me. Ah! Subhuman! Blast.
It's true! A subhuman! How dare you come prowling around here?
Beast! You stinking subhumans need all in your place! Human talents aren't too good for you. Ew, it's so hairy! Go on, scat! Dang. Mordecai!
Ike, we must leave.
What? No, we have to help Randolph!
All of this noise will attract the attention of the Dane troops.
That's why we have to hurry up and help!
He'll be fine. Leave him. Randolph is strong. Even stronger than me. It's all right.
Randolph has no intention of defending himself. Look, he's not even changing forms. I can't just stand by and watch as he gets murdered.
Ike, wait.
Idiot human. Stop! Get out of the way! Keep your hands off him! Who do you think you are? Why would a human want to protect some subhuman? He's a friend of this monster. I saw them talking earlier. What's that to you? Hey, the Crimean Royals had subhuman companions, didn't they? Maybe you're one of those army guys the Dane troops are searching for. You there, Dane soldier, ho! There's some suspicious folk over there.
Huh? That way, hurry!
Are you mad? Your king was murdered by Dane, and now you're gonna cooperate with them? Well, I heard the king was teaming up with the subhumans. That's what got him killed. Yeah, that's right. If we need allies, I'll take flesh and blood Dane humans over some fanged subhuman freak.
Yeah. At least we know we're getting. Trust your own kind.
You people are insane. Where's the subhuman everyone's screaming about?
Huzzah! The Toha Vigilantes are here! Grab those guys and turn them over to the Dane army. That will prove our allegiance and gain our village favor.
If you want subhumans hunted down, I'm your man. Ike! Randolph, are you alright? Why did you choose to come back? Because some fool was gonna lay there and get beaten to death instead of defending himself. Ike, what would you have me do? Gallia and Crimea formed an alliance. I cannot jeopardize that by harming these people, no matter what ill may they bear me. Even if none of them care two figs for their own country? Even if they're citizens of Crimea, after all. Well, I'm not Gallian, so there's no reason for me to hold anything back. Ike, listen to me. They think that you and I are allies. If you attack, it's no different than if I do so myself, so... Let me guess. You're telling me to avoid the Dane pursuit leave the town vigilantes alone, get to the docks as soon as possible, find a man named Nasir, and get everyone on his boat. Is that it? Exactly. I don't care what anyone else says. I think you're pretty bright. Alright, I'll play along. But mark my words, if they attack, heads will roll. What? Hey, that's not gonna do us any good. Titania, Soren, get everyone together. We're getting out of here. Alright, let's pick our units. So far, no one is... I don't think anyone's forced this chapter, right? So I can actually just deploy who I think is worth deploying. Or who I want to, in the case of Rolf. There we go. There's the army. This is our army. The people desire Braum. You may desire Braum, but we get Rolf. I don't. I'm not an armored guy. All right. So, if you leave the vigilante enemies alive, this is like the most obnoxious side objective ever. But if you leave the vigilante enemies alive, you get like 100 bonus experience or something stupid. It's like 50 per. It's like nothing. FE9 BXP. Let me pull up the chart. So we're on hard mode, which means for each vigilante alive, we get 50 BXP. It's like so obnoxious. Listen to me! Do not let a single Crimean soldier escape our grasp. Sweep the entire town! Arrest anyone suspicious. General McCoy, sir, there's a group of vigilantes who want to help us. What shall I tell them? Very well. Let them do as they please. Yes, sir. Pardon me, are you the commander of these forces? I am. And who are you? I'm the captain of the boat you see moored here. My name's Nasir. I stopped to accomplish some brief piece of business, but your soldiers are now preventing me from setting sail. I need to leave this place. I apologize for the inconvenience, however. We're trying to stop some Crimean soldiers from escaping. To that end, we need the cooperation of all citizens, ship captains included. My ship is a simple merchant vessel, sailing under the flag of the Begnion Empire. And I present such documentation, surely it'll prove I have no ties whatsoever with Crimea. Under Dane rules, such Begnion papers are nothing more than fish wrap. Yet, you called yourself Nasir, correct? Protest too loudly, Nasir, and we may think you're a Crimean sympathizer. If that were to happen, who knows what unfortunate fate might fall on your simple merchant ship. I see, so be it. You there, soldier. Sir? Strengthen the watch on this ship. That man is up to something. I can feel it. No matter what happens, that ship must not be allowed to set sail. Burn her and sink her first. Yes, sir. Why is he Russian? You can't just ask someone why they're white. Now then, where is our special guest? I'm right here, General McCoy. Oh, Sir Black Knight, I didn't hope to keep you waiting. No, I just arrived. Let us proceed. I would hear your report. There are no problems whatsoever. I've nothing to report, save the tedium of it all. The farther west we travel, the weaker the Crimean fighting spirit becomes. This town displays less and less resistance, and now they literally throw wide the gates at the first sign of our approach.
With duty as humdrum as this, I worry my troops may become sloppy and lose their edge. As a fellow warrior, I can sympathize with your plight. I thank you for your understanding. This town was not scheduled for subjugation until much later. Tell me, why are you here now? Yes, as to that. Mere days ago, a castle that held the Crimean prisoners of war was attacked and the captives were freed. The perpetuators were Crimean soldiers accompanied by subhumans. According to our intelligence reports, their trail led here. I see. The Princess of Crimea is said to have fled to Gallia. If we can capture this band, we may get information on her location. Do you require my assistance? I thank you for the generous offer. However, if you were to enter the fray, it would be over in the twinkling. My men are starved for combat. I would beg your restraint so they may be allowed some entertainment. As you will. The field is yours. Turn your soldiers loose. May their blades run red with glory. Your graciousness is greatly appreciated. Good luck, Ike. You'll be fine. As for me, I think I'll play a little game of cat and mouse with these Dane fools. The Gallian subhuman! After him! Don't let him get away! Everyone, move out for the harbor. Try to avoid conflict with the local vigilante group if you can. Let's go! Alright, Leif. Go ahead and kill this soldier. Randolph has the pass skill. Your men are aching for combat. Do you think that maybe themselves or their friends in the army could... Alright, so these two... There's these two vigilantes and then there's three up here, right? Yeah, because you're a mercenary. So I think we're definitely gonna kill these two vigilantes, because they're, like, in the way of this house. Look, I found someone Oscar can fight against. Oh my god, he's still awful. Lith seems like someone who would want to beat the snot out of the vigilantes. Say, aren't you? You are. One of those Crimeans that the Dane soldiers are after, aren't you? Go on, get moving. I'll pretend I didn't see anything. Don't worry, just go. Wait a second. Here, take this with you. The Draco shield. And this one has L-Fire, and this one has, like, a killer weapon, I think, of some sort. Killer Lance, maybe? I never realized those were vigilantes too. Yeah, there's 5 total, 2 in the bottom left, and then 3 surrounding Zahark. And Zahark loves murdering them. We have Marsha go up here. Zahark kind of based. I did one time get a comment on, I don't even remember what video it was. It must have been like Path of Radiance tier list or the community tier list video or something. But I got a like really angry comment from someone who was mad that I said Zahark wasn't trash tier because he kills the vigilantes on enemy phase and so he steals your BXP. It was like a long rambling essay. And like I would have made the sort of, you know, logical assumption of
it's probably a joke. If it weren't for the fact that, like, I recognized the commenter, and they'd left a lot of, like, weird, angry takes. Hey, are there subhumans about? Oh yeah, make no mistake about it. No, son, kill you, look at you. Where are they? They're over there, cunning beasts. You're just about to start fleshing out hiding. I see. If you find one, be sure to give me a call. I like that guy. He can throw a little down just for the chance to hunt subhumans. But yeah, they also, like, it's the same person who had, like, an angry essay about how Soren joins way under-leveled and he's a late joiner, and I'm like, Chapter 4 is late joining now? What? I played Path of Radiance half a year ago. I loved using Zahark. I think Zahark's pretty bad, to be honest, but, like, I don't think it has anything to do with killing the vigilantes. I think it's because Footlock, Swordlock bad, right? Meanwhile, Boyd over here, he's just gaming. He's just gaming out. Zark is bad because Meg wants to marry him. True. At least Zahark has Radiant Dawn where he's quite helpful. Yeah, I think Radiant Dawn Zahark is like one of the best units in the game. Swords are bad in this game. Even with crazy high bases like Stefan, you're all just okay because of that. Yeah. Like, the two best sword units in the game are Makalov, who immediately ditches swords as soon as he promotes, and Stefan, who has the stupidest stats you've ever seen, and is still just okay because swords. Funny crit rate, though. Funny crit rate, though. That is true. Is this Ike's second blank level up? Are we sure? Are we sure that I'm not playing on 0 growths by accident? Do we have any other stealables? It's just Makoya, right? Oh no. Gaming! Kieran Gaming! Alright. R/me is... Oof. Oof. Oh my goodness gracious. Has anyone died since last night? No, our only death still is Shannon. Titania, I'm a little bit in love with her. Titania's awesome. Ike might die here? I guess, you know, we'll have to see. Oh, right. Fuck, Volk doesn't have Volk doesn't have any knives. Whoopsie daisy. I mean, it's not like his combat is like good, but whoopsie daisy. That's a whoopsie daisy moment. That's a whoopsie doopsie. Would he have dealt any damage anyway? I mean, like, to the mage. There's mages over there. Like, it'd be nice to be able to dagger a mage or something. Society just doesn't have enough violent racists. I mean, I think 0 is the correct number. I would like that many. Yeah, Ike's in trouble. Ike's in trouble. Holy shit, he's so fucking dead. God, this unit sucks. I cannot believe I still get fucking comments from people like, Ike is just the strongest, bulkiest, tankiest lord ever. At least this means we can fix the knife problem. We've got trouble! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Dane wins. He doesn't get buffed until Radiant Dawn. Ike is alright for a lord. Ike is bottom 3 lords, and it's not even like it's not even close. Radiant Dawn syndrome is a terrible condition. Hopefully one day the fandom will recover from their Radiant Dawn syndrome. Ike has better unit feel than Roy? I disagree. I think, again, people get mad because Roy, like, doesn't snowball into a competent combat unit. Or doesn't snowball into, like, a combat god or whatever. But the accurate chip damage, like, motherfuckers will complain about FE6 hit rates, and then in the same breath say Roy bad because I don't think it's actually valuable to have a 100 hit weapon. I would argue Ike is just as bad in Radiant Dawn because he's slower there. Ike's speed is sad. But to argue that Ike is as bad in Radiant Dawn as Path of Radiance is kind of absurd. Oh, I should have just visited with Oscar. We're gonna suspend. I fucked up. I want you to do me a favor. Pull up Ike's base stats and growths, and then just compare them side by side with Har, a unit who I think is pretty universally agreed to be the best unit in Radiant Dawn. I remember you bringing up the comparison. They have basically the same stat spread. I think Jill is the best unit in Radiant Dawn! Yo, get off that 2009 Game Facts forum! Please! Your family misses you! I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It just caught me off guard, the Jill glazing. Jill's not even the best unit in the Dawn Brigade. Jill's not even the best unit in the Dawn Brigade. I'm not a Jill hater. I'm not one of those people who claims that Jill is bad. But Jill as the best unit is fucking a wild take. I've never had her not be good. Yeah, I mean, she's good. I think she's good. She needs training. She needs a significant amount of training and / or investment. Like, you can also just give her BXP or stat boosts or whatever. Who's better? I mean, for starters, Soth is better. Like, Jake and Good moment. But for part 3, Z-Hark is easily gonna give you the most bang for your buck. You read that backwards. I meant I'd never had her be good. Oh, see, that is the other, because that's the other end of the propaganda, is Jill bad, she's only good for a rescue bot. Which, like, there's this thing that happens with Fire Emblem unit evaluation. I sort of touched on it with Louis, where if a unit is at any point in their history overglazed, there's almost always a severe overcorrection where a unit getting overrated and then people, like, recognizing their flaws leads to, well, now they're the worst unit ever. Now they're actually trash tier. Louis, yeah, that's the Engage Armor Knight. When Engage first came out, sort of the conception was that Louis is like the best unit in the cast because he's got a really strong early game. But then it became clear that, like, he's not. And now there's the, like, oh, well, Louis is trash. Anyone who says Louis is good is living in the past. That's why Lapis was F tier, because she was S tier. Yeah, I mean, Lapis is another one where, like, units aren't allowed to be mid anymore. Well, I guess now that, like, the youth uses mid to mean bad. I've never seen people calling Lapis S. I have, but I'm in the YouTuber situation where I am naturally exposed to a greater volume and breadth of Fire Emblem opinions simply by virtue of the fact that, you know, people will, like, comment. If I make any, you know, offhanded comments about XYZ, like a pet unit, someone's pet unit, then there's the, what do you mean? mean they're not the best unit in the game? There's Lapis fans that try to argue she's better than Kiketsu. Are there? I don't know if that's true, but there might be. It's also, like, very difficulty level dependent. Because, you know, on the lower difficulties, you can use whoever you want. And, like, if you played through on, like, normal mode, and Lapis just, like, dodged every attack, crit every enemy, and you're just like, yeah, that's my Lapis. Kaze may not be the greatest, but he is my husband. Well, that means he doesn't fall off the cliff, which is good. Yay, Miss got strength! That'll make her sword damage good, right, smiley face? I'll never let him fall off the cliff. If you value availability enough, you can say Jacob's better than Ryoma. I don't even think that's like an extreme take. Like, it's not one I agree with, but I wouldn't give someone the side eye for it, I guess, is what I mean. I remember people saying Saizo's the best unit in Birthright. I don't think Saizo's like the best unit, but I think he's generally tends to be looked at as like the baseline for a good unit. Because he has a lot of inherent qualities that are just like... I think he's probably the easiest unit to look at as like the platonic ideal of a Birthright unit. Just shy. Good job, Volk. He can't even kill the mage. He kills the Cav though, smiley face. Jesus Christ, Oscar! I thought everybody agreed that Camilla's the best unit in Conquest. I mean, Camilla, Azura obviously is like a huge contender. Perfect availability dancer.exe. Corrin, I think, is a very big contender. I'm not familiar with Fates' meta. I would assume Camilla is good because pre-promote flyer. Yeah, pre-promote flyer, phenomenal stats. Depending on how much you value the breeding, she's also, like, she just gives very good, because she has really good growth, so she gives very good growth to her kids as well. Which some people give, like, bonus points for being a good mom, right? 20 strength, 20 speed, chapter 4. And tome access. Like, even though she's a physical unit, tome access at base is good because it's unrestricted 1-2 range. And her magic is, like, good enough. She has an eternal level of 13. Yeah, she's gonna gain experience faster than a, like a 20 promoted person would be. She's treated as if she promoted, I believe she's treated as if she promoted at level 10. Because how it works is Gunter is treated as if he promoted at level 5. Camilla and Reyna are treated as if they promoted at level 10. Leo is treated as if he promoted at level 15. And Jacob and Felicia are treated as if they're unpromoted. That's how the special stuff works. Look at that scary effective damage. How are Xander and Ryoma treated? Anyone who I didn't mention is just treated as if they promoted at level 20. So that's Xander, Ryoma, Flora, Yukimura, Fuga, Shura. All those joyous fellas. I hate Xander. It's a personal grudge. Nothing personnel, kid. Except for it is something personnel, kid. Flora promoted at level 20 with those stats. Sad, right? Oh my gosh! Are you really fighting Dane? Oh, that's so brave. We've heard so many rumors about Crummy's defeat. That's why everyone in town acts the way they do. Oh, no one has the courage to stand up to those fierce Dane forces. Everyone believes that if they just cooperate, life will go on here as it always has. Please take this magic scroll. It was my brother's. He got murdered by the Dane army. Fight for him, too. Elwind. It wasn't even Elfire. It's fucking Elwind. Commander Har, awake. There's no time to be sleeping. A subhuman has been spotted. Come, let us join in the thrill of the hunt. No, it's not.
Even if we don't lift a finger, McCoy's pups will take care of everything.
Battle glory awaits! Would you allow others to steal the chance from beneath your very nose?
No, go entertain yourself, will you? Yeah, I'll fight a soldier or lance a peasant or whatever. But for the love of flying, stop interrupting my sleep.
Ooh, you're such a...
Just wake me when it's done.
That's it! I'm going by myself.
Well, Jill, hold up a moment.
Yes? Have you changed your mind?
No, I'll wait here with the rest of us. We don't move unless we're attacked. That's all for me.
Alright. So, the Black Knight spawns whenever you engage in combat with Mikoya for the first time. So how we want to do this... Lathe... Do this. Kind of mean for her to let her glance a peasant. Add one to the problematic character count. Smiley face. Alright, Boyd, do a shovey. Defense. How is his highest stat is defense? Defense and skill. What the fuck? All right. Lathe just did 28 versus Rolf's 3. Lathe is so broken. Yeah, like these are ridiculous fucking stats for this point in the game. Like, that's why whenever I talk about, you know, Lathe and Mordecai are actually pretty good for the early game. Like, that's the shit I'm talking about. Your old garb marks you as subhuman. You should not have left the forest. You cannot survive in the human settlements. 3 damage. 3 damage with a bow. It's a Rolf archetype. I never gave the Lugus enough credit because I don't like the transform gauge. That's their big downside, is the transform gauge. But they're basically just sword calves. Like, just, you know, who don't get to fight about a third of the time. Oh no! I can't steal the Lugus Slayer because Volk... He's shy on speed. Okay. We just need to get a speed level. It's fine. Okay. So as long as he attacks me with the iron bow, right? Which, what we gotta do is get the Lugus out of range. So he will see that, like, attacking someone who can't counter with the bow is his best course of action, right? So we put you here with the Iron Axe, you here with the Iron Axe, you here with the Rolf Good.
Here we go.
The battle has just hit $10. Forge a PRF Iron Axe for Kieran named Har's Armpit.
Har's Armpit! Oh my god. This is gonna be the Armpit Army, isn't it? Thank you for the $10 donation. We forged an Iron Axe for Har. Or for Kieran named Har's Armpit. Okay. Sounds good, sounds good. Alright, here comes Black Knight. All these men, and they're still having problems. Did I make a miscalculation? Ah, it's him! They're not fleeing. They're actually heading this way. It appears we've underestimated the courage of our foe. Jesus Christ, Oscar's getting doubled. What a loser. Are we Kieran X Har shippers? The humble armpit fetish gay boy Kieran. Okay, now we can steal the Lagoon Slayer. Heal up Oscar. Iron Axe Makoya. Go ahead and choppy choppy. The fucking 1% crit chance. Low percent crits are so painful. This is why crit avoid supports are so good. Like, if only any Path of Radiance supports gave crit avoid, then I would be so much higher on the supports. You know bows are bad when the boss needs 2 weapons. But hey, it's good for us because it means... Jesus Christ, Boyd. Keep leveling like this, please. This is like the best Boyd I've ever gotten. I like that the boss has 2 weapons, though, because we can steal the Lagoon Slayer, smiley face. They've got Titania surrounded. Alright. Pachanka. Pachanka. Okay, Steelbow you. Pew! Regal Sword this calf. Heartwarming. 3 enemy cavaliers to ask Titania for her autograph. Hit you. Bada bing, bada boom. Hammer time you. All Titania surrounded by his fear and dead men. The fact there are 3 green brothers amuses me, and I have no idea why. The 3 green brothers are there for their triangle attack moments. It'll be so sad if Rolf gets 1% crit, but I believe in him. What if Fortune Weave overreacts to Vander, gives us another overpowered Jagan? See, the thing is, I don't think they want to give us overpowered Jagans. Like, I think Vander is where they want Jagans to be. Look at the past Fire Emblem games, right? Gunter is in the same vein, you know, just like good for a little bit and then falls off. Three Houses doesn't have a Jagan. And then there's Vander and Engage, right? I don't think Vander is like accidental design. Like, I think he was made to be that way. Fortune's Wrath is just gonna bring back Seth, not even the same viability, just literally the same dude. That'd be wild. So, we were the ones guilty of miscalculation. How shameful. Your Excellency, the rest is up to you. Do you count early Catherine? Early Catherine absolutely doesn't count. For a couple of reasons. First off, she joins in chapter, what, 5? Second, you have to do like a bunch of weird meta stuff to even get her there, right? I think people who are not following a guide are not going to get Catherine for chapter 5. But third, if you're willing to do weird meta stuff in order to get early Catherine, you probably are also willing to do the weird meta stuff needed to make Cyril one round every enemy on the map at base. At which point, Catherine is just performing worse than him. Unless the first 4 chapters are like tutorials, chapter 5 is too late to be a Jagan. I think it depends on game length, but 3 Houses is what, like 20 chapters long on average? It obviously depends on the route. If only there was a pre-promo paladin that falls off right before the time skip. I think playable Geralt would have been awesome, but people were not ready for a playable unit that dies. Spoilers, I guess. Does the priest not have his staff equipped? I thought you couldn't steal equipped things. Staves do not get equipped in this game. The only games where staves get equipped are Fire Emblem 3 Mystery of the Emblem and Fire Emblem 10 Radiant Dawn. I can understand where the confusion comes from because Radiant Dawn is, you know, the sequel, right? But in Path of Radiance, they don't get equipped. Unfortunately, I think Zahark's gonna have to kill that mercenary. Ooh, wait, no. What we can do is this. Marcia drops... Oh, she can't. Kieran drops? And then this guy will attack Laith. Oh no, it still doesn't, it's not enough. Oh well. We tried. I've never seen the Black Knight go down before. He's just trying to get you to you as fast as he could. And since all of my units were here, the fastest route he saw was to go down this way. So that's why I gathered everyone up there before baiting Mikoya, is I wanted him to head south. Oh, the Vigilante attacked first, okay. Oh wait, that's actually kind of unfortunate. Because I don't think we can talk to Zahark, right? Oh no, we can. Okay, so we can just end the map this turn. Ha. Flee. You're a man. I cannot fight you. Hold, please. I'm not an enemy to Laguz. Laguz? How do you... I joined this vigilante group because I knew it would afford me the chance to help you flee. Listen, I'll distract the townspeople. While they're worried about me, you can make good on your escape. I cannot trust the word of a human. I see. Well, if you cut down these vigilantes, will you believe... Well, if I cut down these vigilantes, will you believe me? Huh? 1, 2, all of them? How many do you want? Just give me the word and I'll start cutting. Shh, quiet. Why would you... Oh, I want to help you, that's all. I see, you're not an enemy. That much I'll believe. Thank you. Now you must hurry away from this place. No, I cannot flee. I have friends with whom I must board the ship. Will you not desist? It's much too dangerous. The Vigilantes and Danes want nothing more than to kill Laguz. I am not leaving. I see. Well, if that's your stance, then I have no choice. I will join your group. Don't be ridiculous. What's your name? I'm Leif, but that's a good name. That's besides the point, I'm Zahark. Well met, Leif. Whoops. I don't think we have time for formal introductions. Let's hurry. Hold it. I have not agreed to this. Alright, unit review Zahark. I forgot he started with the steel sword as well. I knew about the killing edge. So Zahark is our second Myrmidon. He is most easily comparable to Mia, who he has better bases than, but like joins a little bit later, so that's what you expect. I think he's pretty bad. I think he's pretty bad. Path of Radiance, sword locked, foot locked bad. Like, the pattern we keep coming back to is these units are so boring to evaluate because so few things like actually matter. Being infantry sucks, being sword locked sucks, his stats are not good enough to make up for those deficits. He has adept, which is cool. He actually has a good speed stat, unlike Soren, who is adept and doesn't have a good speed stat. Zahark will frequently proc adept, which is nice. Like 15 base speed on a 60% growth, he's gonna frequently cap it, right? Or not cap it, like proc it. His growths are like also what you expect out of a Myrmidon. 55% HP is abysmal, 45% strength is fine, 15% magic, 50% skill, 60% speed, 40% luck, 30% defense, which is higher than you would expect, but still bad, and 20% res. He's the fast, frail sortie. In a world where all of your units are fast enough to double, it's just not called for. He at least has a decent base strength. He'll have more strength than Mia usually. And he usually, I mean, unless you trained Mia, right? He's usually just gonna be better than her when he joins. So if you want a filler unit for a couple of chapters, you can do worse than Zehark. The 2 boat chapters, he can be pretty useful on, because next chapter is a crow chapter, and all the enemies are Lagoos, so you can give him the Lagoo Slayer, which is, like, so anti to his character, but, like, ironically, one of the best attributes of Zehark is that he can wield the Lagoo Slayer at base and do good combat against the Lagoos. And then in the boat map, the next boat map where there's 3 boats linked to each other, he's fine as just like filler combat. But that's really all he's ever gonna be. Oh, I mean, if you hyper invest into him, he'll be good. Maybe we'll do like an all Swordmaster run, because we have invested enough in Mia that like she's permanently part of the squad. Wouldn't it be funny if we just had all the Swordmasters? Stefan, Zehark, Lucia, everyone. It's a shame he's mostly bad, because his design is cool. Yeah, his design is cool. But yeah, he's pretty cool. It's just a shame that he's bad. I don't know what else to say. Like, this is why I hate talking about Path of Radiance units, because there's like 3 attributes that matter, and it's like, do they have them? No? Okay. Well then, like, they're bad. They're bad. But he's like, of the bad units, at least he joins at a time where like filler sword combat has a useful niche. There's worse units to be. Like, if you're trying to join as a Swordmaster, this is not the worst time for it. What's that? Thieves are taking advantage of the commotion to sack our little town. Must close the front gate. Thanks for your help. Oh, almost forgot. Please, take this as a token of thanks. Go on, take it. War crimes!
The mercenaries boarded the ship safely. Now, how to proceed?
You're not impending that ship. I won't allow it.
One of Gallia's beast warriors. I've met you once before, yes. At the castle near the Sea of Trees.
From where I'm standing, we've actually met twice.
Oh?
I saw you that night, standing in the light of the full moon, the night you murdered Sir Grail.
Haha. So you were the one traveling with the Beast King, eh? Interesting. By measuring his aid strength, I will naturally learn more of the King's true power.
Hate to tell you this, but my king is not to be measured against the likes of me. He's far beyond that.
All the better. Now then, let us begin.
I'm surprised Randolph didn't just fucking die there. Why do my attacks do nothing?
You fight impressively. However, you are no match for me.
Huh?
Hmm? Rise. Leave this to me.
You were one of the prisoners.
This knight will not raise a hand to me, correct? Now, go quickly.
If you insist, I'll give you a proper thanks when we next meet. Commander Har, let us pursue the enemy ship. They're friends to the subhumans. We cannot let them escape.
That was a good nap. Well, looks like fighting's over. Form up. Time to withdraw. Commander! Listen to me, Jill. We're scheduled to return home tomorrow. If you were injured in a place like this, your Lord Father would not be pleased. It's because of my father that I must not return home empty-handed. I must have something to show him. Please. Simmer down, girl. Black Knight has ordered us to withdraw. Did you ignore his word? That would be suicide, correct? So let's move out. Blast.
My Lord Black Knight, a ship is departing. If we ready our own ship and set sail without delay, we can overtake it immediately.
Listen to me, Dane General. You will withdraw from this place. I will not allow you to pursue that ship.
Who are you supposed to be, fool? You have no idea who you're speaking to, do you?
Gather your men. Withdraw.
Yeah,
I will not repeat myself. Do it now.
Yes, at once. Are you sure that's true?
Yeah, you can ask those two for more details. The two of us were here representing the townsfolk.
You say a green-haired lass boarded that ship?
Yeah, and she had a very noble bearing about her, and she was beautiful. Her name was Ellen?
Calls her something like that. It's true, Princess Alincia. My luck has changed.
All of us, all the townsfolk are ready to cooperate any way we can. You keep that in mind,
Believe me, I understand your loyalty.
Well then.
You there, come here.
Yes, sir, right here.
Get these two worms out of here. I need the hardest physical labor in the town and get the fool started. Work them dusk to dawn without stopping. Work them until they can no longer move. You got that?
Yes, sir. Understood, sir. But that's... Why? Why would you...
Stop your whining. How else am I supposed to reward worms vile enough to sell their own princess to the enemy? Enjoy your payment, you greedy dastards.
Our own princess? That's not... It can't be! It can't! No! No! My Lord Ike! How wonderful! I didn't think you were going to make it. I'm sorry to have worried you. Oh no, I'm just very happy to see you well. So very happy.
Doubt the enemy will pursue me this far.
A warrior such as you wounded? Did a Bjork give you that bruise?
Master Gifka! Oh!
The king told me to come and check on you. Don't move. You're plenty banged up, but nothing appears to be broken.
There's one among the Dane army whose power is overwhelming. To move at such speed with all that armor, I tell you, it's not right.
Yeah, just wait till you see the Radiant Dawn Armor Knights. All of them have, like, absurd speed crits.
And just now, the king's forced to use you, his shadow warrior, to check on me. Ministers are as obstinate as ever. No matter what happens, they will not approve of an alliance with the Bjork.
Nothing to be done about that. Every one of the older retainers has memories of Lagu's subordination. Even the king. If Princess Alincia were not King Ramon's orphan, I doubt he would be willing to aid her.
Perhaps you're right. At any rate, the princess and the others are now safely at sea.
And the watchdog? No signs of carelessness, I presume?
Of course not. Even the elders will bend their ears to hear what that one says. That one is special, after all.
And how do you see this? Princess Alincia's drive for the reconstruction of Crimea. Does she have a chance?
Who can say? Which way the wheel turns depends on Ike and his mercenaries. Success and failure are but a hair removed.
So, this company, which has done nothing but flee, controls the fate of the kingdom? That's a dangerous gamble, isn't it?
All gambles are dangerous, Master Gifka. But make no mistake about it, Dane's next target is Gallia. We must go home and prepare.
Princess Crimea. Did she board the ship to Begnion with the remainder of Gawain's mercenaries? Yes. The hindrance that was Gawain is dead. The location of the medallion soon will be known. Has our worm worked itself into the group? It appears our worm has been accepted as a trusted member of the company. All is going as planned. Now we let them swim as they please. There is one thing. I met someone unexpected at the harbor. Who? The Prime Minister of the Begnion Empire. What? Is that true? If he's nosing about, we must not make any mistakes. Did he give any indication he's caught on to our plans? That I do not know. He did tell me to deliver a message to you. Overreaching ambition invites disaster. Nonsense. Our only concern is the Princess of Crimea and the medallion. We must wait and watch until such time as we can strike. In the interim, I want you to take charge of the invasion of Gallia. Be smart. You must not allow Gallia to bring their full might to bear. Understood? As you may. Oh, worm? Oh no, the tapeworm girl's gonna betray us. Well, what's funny is, so this, like, what's interesting is, hold on one second. So what's kind of interesting is, or not interesting, but like funny, I guess Radiant Dawn spoilers inbound. So that whole, like, that thing about, like, I hope that he hasn't caught on to our plans or whatever, even just the idea of the Black Knight reporting to Ashnard that he saw, Laran in the port. So, Radiant Dawn spoilers, but the Black Knight is working for the Minister of Begnion, and the two of them are manipulating Ashnard. They want Ashnard to succeed. And so, that whole conversation, really, it feels out of place. It makes me think that they didn't have a plan for Radiant Dawn's story when they were writing this, because it makes no sense that the Black Knight would report to Ashnard about seeing Laran. It makes no sense that, like, Laran would be trying to stop Ashnard's plan, because they're trying to trick him into doing it. They want Ashnard to awaken the medallion, because the medallion getting awakened is Laran's ultimate goal, because it'll help cause another flood and kill everyone in Tellius. And they're telling him to be careful so that he does succeed? Maybe? They knew the Black Knight was back then. Dataman confirms identity. Yeah, I mean, there's also hints of it. Like, I think there's some hints of it in Path of Radiance's story. Well, I'm gonna call it for tonight. Like, we're not doing another chapter tonight. So if you don't want Radiant Dawn spoilers, now's the time to leave, because we're gonna talk about it a little bit. The Black Knight, 3, 2, 1. The Black Knight is Zelgius. And it's never outright stated, but there's enough sort of like cookie crumbs in there that you could probably figure it out if you were paying enough attention and you were smart. Like when you run into Zelgius, Zelgius is like asking questions because Nasir got exposed as the traitor, and so now Zelgius has to pry for information because they won't get any on its own, and then like the information that you give to Zelgius gets back to Ashnard. Black Knight and Farron are both in the scene with Rolf, so they're clearly working together. I don't know about that, because Laran is like, this one won't attack me, and it's the same reason that, you know, Zelgius doesn't attack Grail, right? Like, it feels to me like it had that same energy.
I can't believe you would spoil that the Black Knight is Zelchius. Hey, Heroes did it first. Hashtag Heroes did it first. So we had a donation for Kieran getting Har's armpit. I'll make that forge, next time. That'll be next chapter's forge. It's currently in my docket, so I'll see it and I won't forget it. So thank you, H the Battle, for the Har's armpit. If Har's armpit doesn't fit, we'll name it Harmpit. But I think Har's armpit fits. I don't know the character limits offhand. But that'll be Kieran's PRF. It's 12. Okay, so it should fit then. But yeah, I think I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna get ready to bed. I'm gonna become a Har archetype and go to sleep. Everyone have a good evening. Tomorrow morning is the Nintendo Partner Showcase, so I'm probably gonna stream that. Yeah, see ya.